Book 2 of your criminal law. Okay? Remember, in your book 2, there are many titles. The first one, or the title 1, contains your crimes against national security and laws of nation. Title 2 contains your crimes against fundamental law of the state. Book 3 contains your crimes against public order. Book 4 contains your Title 4, I should say, contains your crimes against public interest. Title 5 contains your crimes relative to opium and other prohibited drugs. Of course, this is revised already or repealed by RA 6425, known as the Dangerous Drugs Act of 1972, okay, as amended by PD 1683 and further amended by RA 7659. You also have your Title 6, your crimes against public morals. Title 7, your crimes committed by public officers. Okay, and you have also your Title 8, crimes against person. Title 9, your crimes against personal liberty and security. Title 10, your crimes against property. Title 11, crimes against chastity. 12, crimes against civil status of persons. 13, crimes against honor. And your 14, quasi-offenses, which contains your criminal negligence. Okay, and your 15 is your final provision. We already discussed some of your crimes against property. We proceed with Article 310, or your qualified theft. In your Article 310 of your revised penal code, okay, theft, qualified theft and theft are different, of course. Kailan nagiging qualified ang isang theft? Bakit siya qualified? Okay, because of there's a qualification from the word qualified. Okay, and of course, being a qualified theft, okay, the penalty is 2 degrees higher than that of the theft. Okay, so theft is qualified. There are 6 requirements. Number 1, if the theft is committed by a domestic servant. Okay, pag ang offender is isang domestic servant, ibig sabihin nagkakasambahay o yung nagkakatulong. Okay, number 2, if the theft is committed with grave abuse of confidence. Of course, this grave abuse of confidence is note na ang sabi ng batas, it must be grave. Okay? Note that the word grave describing abuse of confidence, okay, there must be allegation in the information and proof of relation by reason of dependence, guardianship, or vigilance between the accused and the offended party that has created high degree of confidence between them. And of course, yung offender, let's just say yung domestic servant, okay, the accused abuse it. Lagi niyong tandaan, okay, na kung ang offender ay isang domestic servant, hindi kailangan, okay, it is not necessary, hindi kailangan to show that he committed the crime with grave abuse of confidence. Okay? Lagi nyo pong tandaan, automatic na qualified theft pag ang offender is the domestic servant. Of course, stealing dapat yung act. Okay? Taking a property that he does not own. Okay? However, if other person other than a domestic servant, hindi katulong, isang regular na tao, let's just say secretary, okay, the abuse of confidence must be grave. Tandaan nyo po yun. Kung domestic servant, hindi na kailangan na grave abuse of confidence. Pero kung isang tao maliban sa domestic servant, the abuse of confidence must be grave. Okay? Example, si Pedro, he permitted, okay, hinayaan niya si Mario na matulog sa bahay niya. Okay? Kasi si Mario, kaibigan niya, pinalayas ng misis niya. So, makikitira si Mario sa bahay ni Pedro ng 1 buwan. Ngayon, nagnakaw si Mario. Okay? Here, the abuse of confidence must be grave. Okay? But if Mario is a domestic servant, let's just say siya ay isang kasambahay ni Pedro, hindi kailangan na grave yung abuse of confidence. Ang mahalaga is may abuse of confidence lang. Okay? Another is if the property stolen is a motor vehicle, meal matter, or large kettle. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin nito? Lagi nyo pong tandaan na kung ang ninakaw, okay, is a motor vehicle. Ano ba ang motor vehicle? Of course, you know this. The term motor vehicle has been defined by statute as including all vehicles propelled by power other than muscular power. Ano-ano yung mga sasakyan na qualified as motor vehicle? Okay? You have your automobile, your jeep, your jeepney, your bus, your motorcycle, yung scooter, yung mga yan. Okay? Remember that theft of motor vehicle is now punished by RA 6539. Anong RA 6539? That is your Anti-Carnapping Act of 1992. Okay? As amended by RA 7659. Here, it defines the crime of carnapping. Okay? What is carnapping? Carnapping is the taking with intent to gain of motor vehicle belonging to another without the latter's consent, or by means of violence against or intimidation of person, or by using force upon things. Nagiging qualified, okay? Nagiging qualified when in the course of the commission or on occasion of the carnapping, the owner, the driver, or yung occupant of the carnap, okay, carnap vehicle is killed or raped. So, ibig sabihin niya, kung ang carnapping is qualified, the penalty imposed is reclusion perpetua to death. Example, sa kaso ng People versus Lobitanya, okay, this was decided on September 5, 2002. Dito sa kasong ito, okay, yung accused at saka yung mga kasamahan niya, okay, pinagbabaril nila yung driver ng tricycle, resulting to the death of the driver. Okay, they abandoned him and they took possession of the vehicle. Here, the crime committed is qualified carnapping under RA 7659. Okay. Paano naman kung male matter? Ano yung male matter, ma'am? Okay? When we say male matter, I'll just give you an example. Okay? What makes the theft of male matter qualified is the fact that the subject thereof is male matter, regardless of whether the offender is a postal employee or a private individual. Example, okay? In the case of People versus Manalo. Anong nangyari sa kaso na to? Okay? Dito sa kasong ito, yung clerk na in charge sa registry section ng Bureau of Post, 'di ba? Kung maalala nyo yung may mga postal office tayo, 'di ba? So yung clerk daw na na-assign sa registry section ng office, okay? Na merong duty na mag-receive ng packages, okay? The clerk of course has the duty to receive the packages, okay? The clerk in charge of the registry section of Bureau of Posts, okay, with the duties to receive packages, okay, from the clerk in the same section charged with the duty of opening sacks containing registered packages and the letters of value coming into the section, okay? This clerk, yung clerk na ito, took from a package addressed to Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank Corporation of Manila diamonds to the value of 27,548. So yung clerk na ito, siya yung may trabaho talaga na mag-receive ng mga packages. Pwede niya bang i-check? Pwede niyang i-check. Nakalagay sa facts ng case. Pero ang nangyari, inopen niya yung isang package, okay? And this clerk kinuha niya yung mga diamonds na ang value is 27,000 plus. Okay, question ng Supreme Court, what crime was committed? Okay, the crime committed is qualified theft. Qualified theft, hindi lang theft. Bakit? Because the property stolen is a male matter. Okay? Pero lagi niyong tandaan, in the case of US versus Gorospe, okay? Sabi ng Supreme Court, but a postmaster to whom a letter contained postal money order was delivered to be forwarded by registered mail, who opened it and abstracted the postal money order enclosed therein, okay, was held guilty of faithlessness in the custody of documents. So remember, kung yung tao, okay, who took the letter containing the postal money order is a private individual, okay, the crime would be qualified theft. The property taken being a male matter. Okay. Ano naman? Next naman tayo. How about large kettle? Theft of large kettle. We are done with theft of motor vehicle, theft of male matter. Ngayon naman is theft of large kettle. Ano naman yon? Ano ba tong kettle na sinasabi natin? Okay. The word kettle includes horses, asses, mules, sheep, goats, and swine. Okay? In this jurisdiction sa Pilipinas, okay, ano ang large kettle na tinutukoy natin sa Pilipinas? Ano yung mga hayop na considered as large kettle? Okay? Meron tayong mga kabayo, kalabaw, okay? Mga baka, mga bull. Okay? So, your horses, cows, bulls, and carabaos are considered cattle. Lagi niyong tandaan, okay, that to consider the wait lang po. To constitute the crime of qualified theft by taking large cattle, yung hayop ay dapat buhay. Okay? The animal must be taken alive. So, pag does yung killing, ikaw on the spot, pag pinatay mo mismo yung baka, okay? Kung saan mo nahanap si Pedro. Example, si Pedro, nakita niya yung kalabaw ni Mario. Okay, pinatay niya ngayon on the spot kung saan nakatayo yung kalabaw. Okay? At pinagchachap niya ito, the crime committed is simple theft. Theft lang. Okay? Because there was no taking of the cow, pero yung laman ng kalabaw ang kinuha. Okay? Next one. Paano naman kung yung pagpatay ng kalabaw, okay, may kasamang revenge o kaya nagpaghihiganti? Example, natalo sa sugal si Pedro. Galit na galit siya kay Mario. Kasi pinusta ngayon yung kalabaw niya. Ngayon nananalo siya, dinadoble na yung kalabaw niya. Okay? Here, if the offender in killing the cow of another acted with hatred or revenge against the owner, okay, as when the cow was killed because it had entered and destroyed the plans of the offender. Example, the crime committed is not even simple theft but malicious mischief under Article 239. Okay? Next one is we have your anti-cattle rustling law of 1974. Okay? What is this cattle rustling? Cattle rustling is the taking away by means, methods, or scheme without the consent of the owner or raiser of any of the animals classified as large cattle, whether or not for the profit or gain, or whether committed with or without violence against or intimidation of any person or force upon things. It includes killing of large cattle or taking its meat or hide without the consent of the raiser. Okay, next one. Okay, another qualified theft is if yung property is stolen, yung ninakaw na property consists of coconuts taken from the premises of a plantation. Di ba sa Sanchez Mira maraming nagbebenta ng mga nyug, di ba? Okay. Lagi nyo pong tandaan na stealing of coconuts, ang pagnanakaw ng mga nyog, okay, when they are still in the tree, pag nasa puno pa, or deposited on the ground within the plantation, is qualified theft. Okay? So, when the coconuts are stolen, kung ang yung nyog ay ninakaw sa ibang lugar, it is only simple theft. Pero, kung ninakaw yung niyog doon sa puno mismo ng nyog o doon sa within the premises ng plantasyon ng niyog, that is qualified theft. Bakit bakit kino-consider ng batas na mas mabigat yung penalty sa pagnanakaw ng niyog? Diba? Bakit kaya niyog? Okay? In the case of People versus Isnain, 85 Phil 650-651, okay? Sabi ng batas, unlike rice and sugarcane farms where the range of vision is unobstructed, coconut groves cannot be efficiently watched because of the nature of the growth or of coconut trees, and without a special measure to protect this kind of property, it will be, as it has been in the past, the favorite resort of thieves. There is therefore some reason for the special treatment accorded the industry. Okay, another situation, another qualified theft is if the property stolen is fish taken from a fish pond or your fishery. The term fish, okay, the term fish includes not only yung mga isda, hindi lang itong nakalagay sa batas natin, okay, na qualified theft kung ang ninakaw ay isang isda taken from fish pond or fishery. Hindi lang po ito, ang coverage mo nito ay hindi lang limited sa mga isda. Okay? It also covers other aquatic animals. Example, yung alimango, mga hito, fish yun, no? Mga prawns, mga shrimps, lobster, okay? Clams, mussels, scallops, oyster, okay? Snails, yan mga yan. Okay? So what is fishery? Of course, I know that you know what is a fishery is. Okay? Fishery is a place where fish are bred or caught. Okay? It is also defined as a fishing ground. Next one is if property is taken on the occasion of fire, earthquake, typhoon, volcano eruption, and other calamity, vehicular accident, or civil disturbance. So, kung ongoing, kung no madama nga dapuor, adati may sunog, ongoing ang earthquake, lumilindol, nagbumabagyo, okay? Pumuputok na yung volcano, yung bulkan, pumuputok na. Okay? O kaya naman, may disgrasya. Okay? Pag nagnakaw ka during those events, okay, you already committed not only a simple theft, but qualified theft. Okay? Of course, we also have the so-called Antifencing Law. Ano tong Antifencing Law? Okay, simplehan lang natin. Your Antifencing Law is provided in your Article 1612. Presidential Decree number 1612. Ano ba ang fencing, ma'am? Ito ba yung espada? Saan? In its simplest terms, okay, gumatang ka, tinakaw, okay, bumili ka ng nakaw, okay. Ano bang fencing? Fencing is the act of any person who, with intent to gain for himself or for another, shall buy, receive, possess, keep, acquire, conceal, sell, or dispose of, or shall buy and sell in any other manner, deal in any article, item, object, or anything of value which he knows, okay, or should be known to him to have been derived from the proceeds of the crime of robbery or theft. So, sino, okay, ang pwedeng maging liable sa sa batas na to. Okay? Fence includes any person, firm, association, corporation, partnership, or other organization who or which commits the act of fencing. Ano ang penalty natin sa batas, ma'am? Ano ang magiging penalty pag bumili ako ng nakaw? Okay? You have, or the penalty under the law is prison mayor if the value of the property involved is more than 12,000 but not exceeding 22,000. Pero if the property exceeds such amount, the penalty provided shall be in its maximum period, adding 1 year for each additional 10,000 pesos. But the total penalty which may be imposed shall not exceed 20 years. So, you read your PD 1612. So, in your Article 311 na, ma'am, okay, theft of the property of the National Library and National Museum. Okay? Kung may balak kayong magnakaw sa National Library and Museum, lagi nyo pong tandaan yung Article 311. Okay? If the property stolen, example, ano bang nakalagay sa mga museum natin? Mga painting, mga sculpture. Okay? If the property stolen, example, yung painting, okay, is a property of the National Library or the National Museum, the penalty shall be arresto mayor or a fine ranging from 200 to 500 pesos or boss. Okay? Unless a higher penalty should be provided under the provisions of this code, in which case the offender shall be punished by higher penalty. So, that is our discussion about theft.